Guess what I got? So it is I, Jennifer, from Little Metal Boxes. And oh, do that. Yeah. Okay. And where is all of your where did our so here we go. There it is. Hello. It's me, Jennifer. And Julia.
Where's the microphone?
It's over here. Oops. Hi, it's us.
Wait, you have to plug the other one in. Oh no, it's
No, it's all right. I'm all set. So hello. Hello there.
hello. Who's on first?
It is us, Jennifer, Little Metal Foxes, and Julia, Little Metal Foxes. So, we weren't going to do another tool tip.
We weren't gonna, we were done for the year, but no, we're never done, really. Little Metal Foxes is really always on. Always on.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you may know, I was working on doing the casting solutions for the small studio. And with limited amount of space, for how are you going to cast? My ventilation needed an upgrade, so I have been working on that. And I was like, how can I get a stronger fan and a hood?
And we should just say, Jennifer is one of those foxes who does not mess around, right? When she has an idea, she like goes and gets the stuff and puts things together. She's like a little worker bee.
Yeah, it came together like in my head.
Yeah, she's like this whole casting class. And she's like,
yeah.
We need a casting class for casting in the small studio. I'm just going to put that together like in 2.5 minutes.
Took a little longer, but
but I'm just saying, that's one of your superpowers is you get an idea and then you just go in and do it.
Yeah.
And then you pivot and revise and change things if it needs to be changed. Just saying.
Yeah, it's this action.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did was I needed to up my the CFM, the cubic foot per minute on my fan. I really needed to get that a little higher. I had been using a bathroom ventilation fan
which is what we all start out with, right?
Which is like
$10 at Home Depot.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like,
and they sound like they're for $10 at Home Depot.
But also it had like about 60 CFM. This one has about 190 CFM that I got. And I wanted to find one that was a little quieter, more powerful. I could get it, kind of out of the way a little bit if I needed to. But I started looking at Home Depot at fans and stuff, and it was overwhelming, and there wasn't what I wanted. So I was like, I really want like an inline fan, something that's a little more compact, that can really suck some air out of the studio a little bit more efficiently. And so I found on Amazon.
Well, and part of your brilliance is realizing that those keywords inline. Because knowing what to search for. Yeah. Knowing what search terms to use when you're looking for something, that's a superpower.
Yeah. So yeah.
Just saying.
Just working on that. What's it called? The spider graph. It's like, ventilation. Okay, I need different hoses. I need, working on stuff, brainstorming. So this is what I've got. I want to share it with you because the fan itself was about $43 on Amazon. It was real cheap, and it came with the hoses and clamps, and it's variable speed. So if you're doing something kind of light, doing some light soldering, it's fine. But if you need to do something like, make a hood for casting and burning out wax, it's a lot stronger. So that's kind of where I was with this. So let me switch my camera over here. Ta-da! There it is. So, so the motor here was this is the inline the inline fans like this. Basically you can put it in line with your hoses, and you don't have to have like a separate, mounted onto the ceiling or mounted someplace like that. So this one came with the dryer duct hoses like that, and the clamps.
I love that it came with the hoses.
Yes. Yeah. Right? For like, $43. I mean, these clamps are not completely cheap.
No, I mean, but the main thing is it's like then you have to make a separate strip. But I also want you to stretch out that hose because I'm just so excited about this hose.
A 4-foot hose?
But
Yeah.
then look at this, people. It's like a slinky. It just collapses back up because I have a regular dryer hose on mine, and when you stretch it out, it's no problem to stretch it out, but
Yeah.
collapsing it again
Right.
can be a little troublesome.
So the other beauty of this is that I can push it up out of the way when I don't want it in the way. But I can put it right by my solder station and get a good draw. I've been doing like, a little smoke test and draw test with it to really see, how good a draw I can get with this. And the other thing that I do when I'm not using this is I want to set it up out of the way. But I have a vent hole in my window, and if this is still attached, sometimes cold air will come through. So I could set it down like that, which would stop it. But to keep it outside, I just have a cover on the hole.
Right, to keep the cold air from coming in.
Right. And then I can just flex that hose to the outside, and it's ready to go. So got a nice little cover for that. Then, so for soldering, this is great, but I was like, I need something to kind of create a hood effect that'll kind of, trap the air and kind of direct it toward the thing. So when you're doing wax burnouts, the wax smoke kind of travels up. And so I needed to find a way to either hang this above my burnout kiln or, find like a hood situation. And I was looking for like bathroom hoods and kitchen hoods.
I bet you were finding them, and they were all
so expensive, and they were so big.
Yeah.
And this is a window up here, so there's really nothing for me to mount it to. So I started working on ways to like, what could I do here? No, there we are. So I was like, what can I do that would give us a hood that'd be lightweight? I'm sure I could repurpose something to do this. So what can I use to repurpose? So I was looking at like PVC stuff. I was looking at air ventilation stuff. I was like, okay, that's not going to work.
Right, because there's so much stuff. There's so many pre-made parts in the HVAC world. It's like, surely there's one that worked for this, but no.
But they are, and they're expensive, and I'd have to use reducers, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, and it's getting expensive. And so I'm like, surely there's something I could repurpose, like a sink or a tin or something. I'm like, something that's metal that it's just a tray. And I'm like, tray. And so I'm wandering around the paint store or the hardware stores. I'm picking this stuff up, and what? So I found a paint tray. I love these things. This was like $12, $9 to $12.
Nice.
And so I took my, I just cut it like 8 times. So I have like a little starburst, bent them up.
With what? Tell them what you cut it.
Well, I used the diamond burr and just did some
diamond, like a diamond cutoff wheel?
Yeah, a diamond cutoff wheel. Yeah, and just cut 8 times to get my little points. Rolled them over so they have like a little spring to them.
And also so they're not all pointy and sharp.
Yes.
You're gonna jam that into your cap or something if
yeah.
there's pointy.
So these create like a little spring that hold on to the cap. And I put a little duct tape just to support them. But this fits right onto here like that. And when it's sitting up there, it sits nice and tight. And I got no draw, no suction around here. So it actually creates a tight enough fit that it works. So while I was working on this, I was like, I really wish there was a way, because it's got like the little feet for the thing. I was like, well, I could drill holes and I could figure out that, like I said, this is a window. So how do I attach it? And I felt up here and there's a rim on the inside. And I was like, wait a minute, it just what? And I was like, this is amazing. So anyway, the hood
Merry
sits up
Christmas
there.
to you.
Yep. And then I can just put on my ventilation like that. It's so adorable. It's so cute. So it sits directly above my solder station, and because it's not attached, I can move it up and down the entire length of this window, which is about 3 feet wide. But I can also, this is an adjustable speed fan, which is really nice. And it's really quiet.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Because that's on high.
There's nothing worse than the, fan noise. Yes.
So that's on high, people. So anyway.
You probably can't hear it on Zoom, but I'm here in the room to tell you that it is quiet.
So I've done several match and draw tests with this, and to see kind of where. So smoke goes right up the hole, and it usually works on the sides out to about here, and out in front it pulls about 4 inches or so. in front. So down here, it just all goes straight up. And I've got some incense I've been burning to sort of see. But it clears the smoke and everything really, really well. And when I'm done with it, I can just put it down out of the way.
Nice.
And so it's not bugging me because it's sitting above my face. But I even put a sticker on this just because it's reflective. And so I can like, just so I don't hit my head on it when I'm working. But for my small kiln, my tiny kiln that I'm gonna put in here, this is gonna be perfect just to draw wax right straight out.
Perfect.
So
While you're doing the burnout.
while I'm doing the
Doing
burnout,
The burnout.
yeah. I'm off. So quiet,
Awesome.
quiet. So anyway, love and admire that, if you will. So the whole setup for this was about $60. About $60.
That's impressive.
So on over here, back up, back up over here. So yeah, I can put a link in the, oops, here we go. Let me switch back over here. Boop, boop, boop. I know,
Here
right?
we are. And we're
So
with our
anyway,
tea,
it's
sitting
just-
here in Seattle with our
Cheers.
tea in our little
Cheers.
fox mug.
right? So I just, I just wanted to share that with you guys because I know ventilation in the studio is always a challenge, especially in a small space. And
Well,
it's,
especially if you're renting a space because you can't build in something.
Right.
And so it's always a problem figuring out how to do that. But you could,
Absolutely.
if you were renting a space, you could get a piece of board that if you open the window, you get a piece of board, fit that in, and then you just
Yep.
make a hole that is
Yep.
just the size of your thing.
so
And you can put weather stripping around the board to make sure it seals and stuff.
so I had a hole drill, and you can
Mhm.
get different size hole drills from Home Depot.
Mhm.
And this set was not too terribly expensive, but I had to put a deadbolt on my door. And this happens to be like a 2.5 inch
Mhm.
hole drill, and you can get different sizes. So if you want to do like a 3 or 4 or whatever size hole you need to drill in the wood,
You can also, which is what I did when I had a rented studio, you can just drill, you can draw a circle, and you can just drill multiple holes.
Yep.
With a smaller drill bit, and
Right.
then take a keyhole saw or a
jigsaw
chisel
or
and
jigsaw or
just
whatever,
cut it out, and then
Yeah.
you can take a wood rasp and just smooth it off.
if you need to. Yeah. So mine's got
I mean, you're only cutting it once, right? Like,
yeah.
it's like,
well, mine's got PVC that you can get at Home Depot, and this was before I did this fix. But that sits on the outside, and then it screws onto the one on the inside. So I've got a mounting, the PVC mounting that's on there, and I put some screen so the bugs and birds would stay outside. So that is like
birds and bugs on the outside and fumes.
and fumes that way. So anyway, it just, I think for a really pretty quick solution, just go and get, because there's enough hose here that this fan comes with that you don't have to buy extra dryer hose or anything.
Right.
And it's the right size because it comes with it.
Right.
And the clamps. And for mine, I just have a 3 to 4 exchanger reducer.
Right. You did have to,
Yeah.
yeah. And actually, you don't even need, you could just,
Yeah.
The only reason you needed this, right, was because you wanted to attach it to your paint tin.
No, the only reason I had this was because I was going to attach it to a bigger dryer vent thing. So I could even just take this off.
Yeah, you don't
but
need that.
I don't
But
need
at this
this.
point, this is allowing you, this is basically the transition that allows you to attach it to your paint
Yeah.
tray.
So it's nice and sturdy.
But what I just have is the dryer vent, right? You don't actually need it to expand. And in fact, it doesn't actually benefit you to have it expanding at the end.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and you can get different, like register hoods that have like a little, different shape to it. Like
But you actually don't need that. That's my point,
No.
is that I used to have like the register, for the under the floor register. I used to have that on the end of my dryer vent. And then one of the nice people from the UW came and did it, or no, it was Dave Waddell, did a test for me. Had the UW to come and do that too, but to test the airflow. And he's like, it isn't actually improving the airflow to have
have it open up.
to have this thing open up, that
Right.
you're actually better off being able to get closer to where the opening is. Right.
Yeah.
And so I just took it off. I mean, it was just duct taped on there. So I just took it off.
Yeah.
And it actually makes it a little easier to manipulate the dryer vent because then it's smaller things.
Yeah. Well, and the nice thing about this is that it's, you know, standard size. It's actually easier to find like the 4-inch fan and the 4-inch vents and all that stuff. And you can get a more powerful fan. So if you're
Right.
doing something, and this one is, like I said, it's not quite 200 CFM. But if you want something that's like 400 CFM, you need to go up to a
Right.
a
To the
4-inch
right.
or a 6-inch. And it's much more
6 inch
powerful.
is gonna be really.
Yeah, it's really powerful. So if you're doing a lot of wax burnout or something, that's
Yeah,
gonna be
okay.
better. I mean, I'm only doing like a couple of rings at a time and soldering.
Right.
So, you know, the bigger you get, the more ventilation you need to get that stuff out of the studio. But, you know, for, you know, under $150, you could still do it for, you know, the bigger fan if you needed it. But this one, $60. I was like, and it's Christmas. I don't have 60, you know, I have $60 to spend extra. I could do that. So, so yeah, if you want to make a little ventilation hood, paint tins, paint trays,
Inline fan would be your search
and an
term.
inline fan on
3-inch
Amazon.
Inline fan,
$43.
paint tray.
Variable speed. That's all you need. You know? I'm so happy I did that. I just did like, it made me giggle. It really made me giggle yesterday. I finished it and I was like, I'm gonna send a picture to Helen and Julie. I'm gonna do a tool tip, even though we were gonna do one, because this is just too good to not to share it. We just love it. So anyway, the point of this is get your good ventilation and have a Merry Christmas.
Indeed. Have a Merry Christmas tomorrow. It's Christmas Eve here in Seattle. It is already Christmas Day in some parts of the world. So
Helen, a Merry Christmas Day. Yes. And may Santa bring you lots of new tools. So, all right. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you guys in 2025.